My name is Bruce Baker. I'm a professor in the Department of Educational Theory, Policy, and Administration at Rutgers University in New Jersey. One of the most compelling issues in school finance right now is about these state school finance systems and the extent to which they actually do distribute resources at a sufficient level and equitably across school districts. Much of the rhetoric of the field has moved sharply away from that, on an argument that we have been there and done that. But one of my recent articles, in fact, suggests that no, we haven't. We haven't fixed these state school finance systems, and we've got a lot of work still to do there. There are a couple of arguments that seem to be fueling the move away from any concern for the level of funding in states and the distribution across districts. And one is this argument that, well, it doesn't make any difference anyway. You know, we've seen a bunch of states put money into their school finance formulas and put money into their schools, and nobody ever gained anything from it. So really, we just need to reform things and not worry so much about the money piece. But I think that the way that argument has been laid out is in a very oversimplified and misleading way. I'm really perplexed by the extent of disconnect between the Beltway politics in D.C. and what goes on in the states with state education systems and the financing of those systems. For example, there was little attention, I believe, in determining really any of the race to the top evaluations or rankings, whether or not the states that were proposing to enhance their teacher evaluation systems, lift caps on charters, whether or not those states actually had any reasonably equitable or adequate funding in their state school funding system to begin with. One example of that being that Tennessee, in fact, after adjusting for a number of different factors, has the least adequate funding in the nation. Delaware, as it happens, has the smallest percent of 6 to 16-year-old children even attending their public school system, with well under 80%. It seems to me that that's at least somewhat relevant. Delaware also has the lowest percent of gross state product that's actually spent on K through 12 public schools. So here we have the state with the lowest funding, the lowest testing cut scores, and the state with the lowest participation rate in the public education system and lowest educational effort toward their schools, winning race to the top. And that to me is just this, it emphasizes that disconnect between trying to, through the federal government, through funding programs at the federal government level, stimulate innovation, but without any regard for, again, the equity or adequacy of funding, the extent of kids even served by the system. And to me, that the funding is absolutely a necessary underlying condition. It's a prerequisite condition for innovation.